This is a reply to Inmendham's video. I think it's called 3 Issues, requesting non-emotive arguments against those, the 3 issues that he brings up. I'll just deal with the 3rd one. Well, attempt to deal with it, and see how we get on. So the 3rd issue was consent and the need for a higher standard of proficiency if you can't get it, if you can't get consent, which obviously you can't with regards to consent to life. You can't get consent from a fetus. So the analogy that that he uses is that you're at your sister's apartment, and she's away for the weekend, and there's a pile of her money on the side there. Would you go gambling with that money, given that she's not around to ask her, and her ideas of what risks are worth it and not worth it are going to be different to yours. And if you work through that analogy, you come to the obvious conclusion that you would leave the money on the table. And so yes, I come to the same conclusion you do. The problem I see with that analogy is that it doesn't actually reflect the reality of it, or rather you'd need to augment it slightly, and the augmentation that I think would be necessary would be that if you didn't take that money, then somebody else would, and so perhaps the alternative analogy is that you're having a party at your your sister's apartment, the money's on the table, and someone is going to take that money and gamble it, but they all know your sister, and they're going to give her the winnings if they win or whatever, and so that the question isn't really can you can you justify you taking the money, or what your level of proficiency is in terms of what you expect, whether you're going to be able to double the money or blow it, or it's the standard isn't an absolute you must just leave it on the table, because that's kind of off the cards, and because somebody's going to take it, and you might think that you're a better blackjack player or whatever than they are, and so that's the dilemma you have. And you can kind of say that well, that doesn't really meet up with reality either, because nobody else can have your kids, but as you consistently point out, the in your kids is not relevant, and the sentience in the human in human sentience is not relevant, and so for it to be internally consistent with sentience being you know, the only thing of value, it's a little bit more complex than just abdicating responsibility. Sorry, I got a bit sidetracked. So yeah, I guess my question to you is, do you accept my amendment to the analogy, and if so, well, you know, work it out work through it anyway. But you know, if you accept it, then you know, do you come to the same conclusion that I do?